All right. Thank you, Jumper, for the raid. This is the GG Timing Podcast. Name is still in the works. We're basically trying to do like a recap of ASL and other tournaments, BSL, and just kind of keeping everyone up to date on what the haps are. And hopefully that just kind of strengthens the community. And we get to talk about StarCraft, which is fucking awesome. So, and if anyone ever thinks of a better name, GG Timing Podcast is literally just a placeholder for the time being.
Yeah, we are very open to suggestions for a podcast name.
Yeah. And with me is Ozzy Dahaki. He'll be helping me go through and just kind of talking about all the matches that were to happen. Hey, what's up, experiments? The StarCraft Sports Center. Oh my god! So that's a good name. The only thing to me, it's like if we were ever branch out in like the future, like if this is like catch win, I feel like that just kind of like pigeonholes us into just StarCraft. But who knows? But I do like that the Sports Center thing. That's basically kind of the idea behind all of this.
Yeah. We're just just covering more StarCraft content. Like you said, maybe eventually branching out and doing more things. So
Yeah.
more attention to StarCraft, I think, is always a good thing, right?
Of
For
course.
those of us that love this game so much.
Ain't that
Yeah.
true? And then Intrepid says one farmer into herb.
Yo, true.
The herb farmers. But then that just sounds like a stoner podcast.
Well, that's the problem. Anything using your name combined with anything else sounds like a stoner podcast.
Trust me, man. It's people are either like, "Oh, you're just a giant stoner," or "You love Pokemon," and I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right about both." So, the ice bucket challenge, nice. But all right, so let's get into it. This is the GG Timing Podcast. Right now, we're going to be talking about the ASL Season 19 online qualifiers, Day 1. A lot of great players signed up for the event. The participants, as you can see right here, Protoss, we have Best, Bisu, Boyi, I have no idea who that is. Fleta, don't know. MC, that's the StarCraft 2 Pro MC. Noob, I've seen the name, not too familiar. Paralyze, he I believe is amateur, or he's been around for a minute.
Wait,
But
where are you seeing the full list?
the full list.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah,
it now. Come
the
on.
notable Korean participants.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and then we have Shuttle, former ASL winner. I think it was like one of the very first ASLs Shuttle won.
Way
Stork,
back in the day.
yeah. Stork, just legend. One of the dragons. Chuhu, I have no idea who that is, and Tyson, a pretty noteworthy Protoss player.
Yeah, there's a few names on this list that I've like never heard of before.
Which is cool because that just means getting new blood into the scene, new names to take notice. I'm always
Yeah,
a fan of that.
yeah, it's very cool. I mean, it's cool because it means that the game is still growing, right? There's still new people that are still getting better and improving and breaking through to the top. So it's really like an indicator that the game is still alive, at least over in Korea.
Mm-hmm. It's like you look, do a deep dive into the newer players and find out they're like 50 years old. You're like, oh shit, never mind.
It's an old man's game.
Yeah, truly. Foreign participants. We got some Chinese players for the Protoss. We have Zhang Hun.
Yeah,
Zhang Hun.
Jean-Hun.
Yep, and
Yeah.
he was a pretty strong contender in BSL. If not, he was the winner of a few. It was either
Hmm.
Mihu or Jiahuan.
Yeah.
And then for the Terran participants, we have Ample, Bishop, Lita, Mung, Rush, Eski. That's not Sulky. That must be a different player, right?
Yeah, it's a different one. It's definitely not Sulky playing Terran this season for sure.
He's pulling a flash where he's like, I'm just gonna go random now.
Yeah,
Uh,
imagine.
and then we've got the Chinese participant Mihu, really strong player. So I'm kind of excited to see how he stands within the bracket. And
Yeah. When it comes to the Terran players, um, so I've been playing a lot of Terran lately, so I feel a lot of affinity for Terran players, but I'm actually not a big fan of this lineup, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Sharp for me is like a really big one. Sharp's not he's not I guess this isn't part of the participants, right? Sharp's already qualified or something for the further stages, is that the deal?
yes, like when you play so far in the like the tournament brackets, I think you get seeded.
Yeah.
So these
So
are
the
the
only
people who didn't make it.
Yeah, I gotcha. So the only one for at least the qualifiers here that I personally am interested in is TY. So for me with TY, I actually was into StarCraft 2 pros before I even knew that Pro Brood War existed. Like I'm pretty late to the scene in general, and I actually knew TY from StarCraft 2, and I was like a really big fan of his in that. So I enjoy seeing what he can get done here in Brood War. I find it very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, so he was a StarCraft 2 player?
Yeah, he was a top StarCraft 2 Terran.
Okay, so that's why that name seems familiar. It's like there's so many people who like just use similar names. Like for instance, Eski. It's like, oh my god, like is this like? It's so confusing. It's almost like barcode like confusion.
Yeah.
But
And
okay, so I know Ty then because I was pretty big into StarCraft 2
yeah.
for a minute.
And one thing I want to mention with John Hoon, I've played some with John Hoon because he actually will play BGH in that Chinese group that I'm in. He'll actually play with us sometimes.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
nice. All right, and then for the Zergs, we have Art User, big fan of that guy. Beast, GG Amo, Sue, PCs, Shine, SSL, Yiram, and Yoon. Some different names. I don't know who Yiram is.
Yeah.
PCs and Sue, I think sounds familiar, but
Sue.
yeah,
So Sue is another StarCraft 2
yeah,
player.
there it is. There it is. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
like, it seems familiar. I don't know why I know it, but
So
okay.
Sue was famous in StarCraft 2 for always getting second place and never winning anything.
He was the StarCraft 2 version of Yellow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I believe it. That's probably why it seems familiar then.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool seeing these and again this kind of goes back to what I was saying before. Brood War stays around, all right? It's been around for a long time, but it doesn't want to die off, and we're reaching the point now where StarCraft 2 is dying before Brood War is, and we have StarCraft 2 pros that are now coming back to learn
Yeah,
Brood War.
bro.
I love to see that.
I love it because even for the foreign scene, I seen a Harstrom, like
Yeah,
this
Hearthstone.
notable StarCraft 2 caster player. He was
Hmm.
even playing Brood War like earlier this week, and I was like, "Hey, look who's joining the Brood War fan side." Yeah, so it's,
Yeah, he's doing
it's
like a 100-hour challenge,
yeah.
putting 100 hours into Brood War, and yeah, I'm a big Hearthstone fan, so it's really cool seeing him playing. It's actually the first time I've watched someone stream Brood War that I'm not hate watching.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, hate watching the thing that we don't like to admit we do. Oh boy. Well, technically, Koreans outlasted SC2 Xenon Fun. Yeah, yeah. StarCraft 2 it had a run, but it just there's a reason why I came back to Brood War when before StarCraft Remastered. Just I didn't like it.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's go into the groups. Let's look at Group One first. So not too many noteworthy names other than Bisu, and as you can see, Bisu he kind of just runs right through it, 2
Yeah.
0ing everyone besides the last game. Which, if you watch the qualifiers, it how they do it, they don't follow people throughout the entire tournament because there's so many groups. They kind of just jump around. But from the game that they showed of Bisu versus Pianist, it was some kind of interesting games. Pianist was able to take the first game
Hmm.
uh, in a pretty strong manner, but then Bisu just rolls over in game 2 and 3. Bisu was able to defend against a proxy double gate game 2, and was able to come out on top. And then game 3, it was just a really strong macro PvP.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually wanted to talk a little bit about. So there's this thing that always kind of bothered me, right? Which is that here at B rank and low A rank, okay, when someone goes 9-9 and you open standard, you kind of just die at our level, right? And
mhm,
and I never understood, like, so I knew pros don't do 9-9 because it's just bad at the highest level, right?
mhm.
But I always wanted to see it because I was like, I want to know why it's bad. And so when I saw Pianist go center 9-9, I was like really excited because I was like, oh, I'm finally gonna see like why this is bad, right?
Hmm.
But what I didn't understand is that in that game, Bisu opened 13 Zealot, which means that he's going for multiple Zealots, right? So it wasn't a normal 14 Zealot into Dragoon. He was going 13 Zealot and planning on multiple Zealots before he even knew that it was 9-9. And I was like, I don't know if this
Oh,
is because of the map or if it's like maybe the scout timing of when the probe showed up. But for some reason, he was just already doing what he needed to do to stop it. And I was like, it wasn't satisfying at all, you know?
well, the map was what's the three player?
It was Dominator.
Yeah, Dominator. Okay, I was thinking it was
Yeah,
that.
so I was wondering if he was planning on multiple Zealots just because of the map to begin with, right? And
Yeah,
then it just happened to work out in his favor.
and for those who don't know, Dominator, it's let me just pull it up right here. Uh, I got it going on my stream what the map looks
Yeah.
like, but it's a three-player map, and Bisu spawned at the 11 o'clock, and Pianist spawned at the 3 o'clock. He went for the proxy, and with this map in particular, it's a reverse ramp. So usually the ramp goes down to the natural. This one you go up to the natural. So I think the idea behind Bisu's logic was I can't let him contain me. So by pushing
Mhm.
out with all these extra zealots or having these extra zealots, I can control because he also built the shield battery right next to the ramp. So
Yeah, we did that in response to the 9-9. I just meant the opening itself. He was already planning on multiple zealot like opener, so he was planning on potentially harassing from the beginning.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I think that was kind of the logic behind the 13 zealot production was just because he's like, it's going to be a battle over the ramp, so I'm just going
yeah,
to make sure that I can contest the potential aggression. Which roll of the dice, he was right.
yeah. Well, yeah, if that's the case, it makes me wonder if Dominator is just a terrible map for him to have chose the 9-9 for, right? Because
Yeah.
it may have just been simply the map already had Bisu leaning towards a more zealot heavy opening, so just straight up countered Pianist. Um, One other thing I wanted to mention real quick. This was more like a personal win as well. So in game three, PNS got first scout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people tell me they're like, if you don't want to get your probes to get pylons to get blocked in, just build a pylon to the right of your nexus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it will stop the proxy pylons, but it will also mess up your own mining a little bit. And then people are like, no, it's worth it. You should do it. And to me, I was always like, I kind of don't care if they build, buildings in my mineral line. So when Bisu got scouted early, he didn't care either. He just let him do it. Okay, and this is where I got my personal win. Okay, so the way BC responded, which is what I always did or like wanted to do and was always told that I was wrong. But if BC's doing it, they're wrong and I'm right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what he did was instead of mining really inefficiently, like normally people are like, okay, your probes that are trapped, you should attack the pylon and just mine with everything else, and your probes will be like going behind the mineral line, etc., whatever. Well, he actually pulled additional probes and he had an extra probe or two killing the pylons with his 14 zealot.
Mm-hmm.
And this made it where he killed both pylons and the shield battery in his mineral line before the zealot even got there.
Oof.
So he basically took no damage
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for doing this because it just confirms that I was right all along.
Yeah,
So
I mean it's like
good information.
one of those things where it's like for instance, like Zerg's perspective, if someone gas steals me, as long as I have 9 drones harvesting, any additional drone I feel like is all right to attack
Yeah.
the refinery or assimilator or whatever is stealing my gas, because as long as you have like the best mining you can have, if like the pylon block, if it blocks the mineral patch, I guess you can only harvest out of 8
Hmm.
patches. So why not just use the additional probes to deal with the threat?
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's exactly it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not worth going behind your mineral line to mine so inefficiently. Just don't even get that mining and just clear it up because they spent the 100 minerals to do it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what if you lose like 80 or 90 or something with that probe that you're killing it with?
Yeah, it's still a 15 mineral, win. So,
Yeah. And it
uh,
delays all their own stuff too, so
exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people think they have like this is the you have to do this every time. It's like I feel like everything's situational.
I agree 100%.
Uh, so all right, so that's pretty much for the group one. Bisu was able to come out on top of that. All the other players, nothing too noteworthy. Pianist, it seemed like he had a good run.
Yeah, he did good. I mean, I don't know, he beat this Saul guy, right? Who
Hmm.
I don't really recognize the name, but he's on the list of notable players. And then this was it Boe something like that. Seems like he lost immediately, so not sure about that guy yet.
Yeah, maybe next season. But
Yeah.
let's go on to group two. So, this is where we start getting some really good names. We got
Mhm.
Stork, TY, GGAMO, Paralyzed, Mind, Judge. It looks like that person's not even. Yeah,
What a what a stacked qualifier group, actually.
I know, right?
It's kind of insane.
Yeah, I would if I got stuck in this, I'd be so upset. I mean,
Yeah.
any bracket, I'd be upset. But yeah, this one, like Stork, like come on, man, this guy's
Or
been
TI
pro.
GMO paralyzed mind. Like this
Uh,
this is a group of death in the qualifiers. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, like I could easily see this being in like the bracket and like the actual like
Yeah.
ASL. So
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, kind of
wild
wild.
to see where we're at, where even like the big names are just fighting for a spot as opposed to just like being seeded.
Mm.
But all right, so Stork, two O's. Was it Hye Chung Min? I have no idea who that is. Don't even know the race, but 2-0's him. Goes against TY and gets 2-1. So,
Yeah, good for TY, dude.
yeah, TY
I,
flexing.
TY is so close to getting out of this group too, man.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm a TY fan. I want to see him make it.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as any StarCraft 2 pro that can come back to Brood War and
Mhm.
put up good results. It's just kind of like strengthens the bridge between the two games because it's
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, hey, I know this guy from StarCraft 2. He's doing what in Brood War? Oh, let me check it out. I want to go support him. So I think that's just
Hmm.
good for the scene in general.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like I would call him like a newer player beating Stork. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
that's pretty sick.
The amount of time Stork has in this game to lose to kind of like a newcomer.
Yeah, Stork definitely has a very old style, but he is an old player. Um, it's been around for a while, but yeah, TY beating him definitely pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And his series against mine, well, we didn't get to see the whole series, right? They only showed game three.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that game actually, it was pretty close for a while. I mean, TY did a lot with drop ships and stuff. He had a lot of good plays, but he got contained early. And in TVT, man, when it's all about positioning, it doesn't matter like if you have a massive army supply lead, if you're being contained,
Yeah.
it's so hard to play,
Because the trade getting out is just going to completely throw you.
especially when it's high ground like that on Deja Vu.
Oh,
Yeah.
Xenon Fun said TY played before SC2 and teammate with JD. Yeah, I mean that's the thing where it's like obviously a lot of like the StarCraft 2 pros had Brood
Mm.
War experience, but they were more known like a lot of the so you had Jadong who was like the guy who would
The guy.
yeah, he was the guy. He was the one who would roll over everyone, but a lot of the SC2 pros were like the practice partners who didn't really get much shine and attention because they were
Mhm.
just giving games to like Flash or Bisu. They're more just kind of like the fluffers, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I would say that they're kind of like newcomers in the sense that like they're like, yeah, they have experience in Brood War, but now they're kind of getting the light that they deserve.
Hmm.
They're newcomers to like the limelight of the stage and all that. That's kind of where I'm coming at. Not so much like they just picked up the game, but more of just kind of like um, just attention and just kind of like
Yeah.
getting more like yeah, they're
Yeah, I'm with you
being
on that
seen.
one.
Oh, he beat JD in ASL, if I'm not mistaken, with crazy proxy fact. Oh God. All right.
TY did?
Yeah, I guess this is what Xenon Fun's going are saying.
Okay. Well, I mean, kind of like I mentioned before, I wasn't really aware of Brood War Pro when I was a kid, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty out of the loop on a lot of the older stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'm less excited then. Thanks for ruining my fun. He was a former successful Brood War player then.
Thanks, Xenon. And then so GG Amo 2-0's paralyzed, but then gets 0-2'd by Mine. Mine just
Mhm.
completely running through 2-0 Judge, 2-0 GG Amo, and then 2-1's TY. So Mine really showing uh, his strength right now.
Yeah. Yeah, winning this group is actually a pretty good indicator of success in
Yeah,
ASL, like in the
yeah.
in the main scene, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't just beat up like kind of no namers. Like he actually had to like fight pretty hard and still was able to get some pretty good results.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty impressive by Mind.
Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, I feel like we covered that. You want to go to the next?
Let's go.
All right. So group three, we've got Chuhu versus Lita, Shine versus not sure who, Ample, Beast, Rush, and then another player that doesn't have any tag next to them.
Yeah, I
Uh,
always wonder about these like random. So how did the qualifiers work exactly? How do we get so many people that just don't seem to be known at all?
well, the qualifiers. I mean, DeWalt was in a qualifier like a year or two ago. I think it's just whoever shows uh gets to participate. So these are
Oh,
probably
okay.
like literally new blood type players.
Okay.
So
Do you pay for a slot or how does it work? Do
I
you know?
think it's. Well, I remember I was reading the translated uh, qualifiers thing. There's like an application you have to submit, so maybe there's a little bit more into it. Maybe we could do like a little bit more in depth investigation into it in the
Yeah.
future. But as of right now, all I know is like I just assume maybe there's like a small fee, but then just like submitting your application and just going from there.
Yeah, I'll do some digging and figure that out because I'm actually really curious about how these people get in here, basically.
Yeah. Because it would be good to know, and also just any up and comer foreigners, if they want to participate, maybe we'll have to hit up DeWalt, try to get some more info on that.
Yeah.
But looking at this, Lita, old school Terran player, really known for his Wraith control in TVZ.
Mhm.
Doesn't really matter much in the TVP aspect. He was able to 2-0 Tsuhu, but then Shine, he gets 0-2'd. I wish they would have shown Shine a little bit more. They shown him in the finals versus Rush, but Shine, just for those who don't know, super unorthodox player, will throw the weirdest strategies out, like lurker drop into Muta in the
Mhm.
ZVT, or just like do. He had that one famous game where he faked an Overlord drop, had like 10 Overlords go into the main, which pulled the his enemy's army back into the main, and then he just completely ramsacked the natural. So just Shine, one of those really interesting players. But
Yeah.
I did see the Shine versus Rush games, and let's
Mhm.
just say I think Rush was ready because Shine threw everything at him, but Rush was able to come out on top.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say, right? Like players like Shine and like Zealot and stuff like that, like they're really good at what they do, but honestly, like you never really see people that play like that getting very far a lot of the time, right? Like obviously they're very good at it, like I said, to get to where they get in the first place. But against like really strong, solid players that know if they can just get into like a normal macro game, they're going to win, right? So game one, Sean went for that 9 pull speed into 2 hatch Hydra,
Yeah.
which failed horribly. And then and then game two was yeah, it was just like a really heavy muta style into lurker. And like we saw Rush identified it quickly. He made like 13 turrets in his main base. Like he understood that just don't die to Shine and play solid and he can win.
Yeah.
And that's usually the weakness of players like that. Those really strong fundamental defensive styles will beat players like Sean consistently.
Yeah. And my experience with Brood War, if you got a player that's like super aggressive like that, Moonrai, they'll always complain like, all you do is sit back. And it's like, yeah, because I know you're just going to throw everything at me. And if as long as I survive, look at that, I win the game. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's not my fault that you play such a style that if I don't take damage, I win. Yeah, like,
Hmm.
like you played yourself essentially. But yeah, it's really cool though because it breaks up the monotony of like just the standard play styles. Like if you got Jaedong or Sulky, you're gonna expect like a very standard like macro game,
Right.
kind of the run of the mill play styles. But when like Shine or Zealot comes onto the scene, they're just like, haha, like
They're definitely fun to watch for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. Because you're just like, what are they gonna do? I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting when it works too.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Because then you look like a genius. Like no one will ever beat me. I'm just too ahead of the curve until someone just
Yeah.
sits back.
But all in all, it's not too surprising that Rush kind of dominated that group.
Mm-hmm. uh Beast able to take out Ample, so that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But then
They got ample and took a game off Rush. So
uh,
seems like Beast played really well that day.
yeah, I wish we were able to get like the VODs and stuff to or like
Hmm.
replays to be able to kind of go into more depth, because it's like within the qualifiers, like we were just talking about earlier, like they're actually like really big names that have
Yeah.
really good games. Like if I got put into that bracket as like Suhu, I'd be like, fuck, I'm so dead.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Like, I would love to be able to cast qualifiers. Like, even games where it's like, John Hoon or me who takes a game off of somebody, right? Like, I want to see that, right? I want
Yeah,
to see like what they did, how the games played out, that kind of thing. Like, even if they don't make it very far, they don't win the series. Like, just seeing them taking games off, like seeing how it happens is like super interesting to me.
yeah, of course. Um, but other than that, I feel like that's a pretty good analysis of Group 3. Let's head to Group 4. And just for those who don't know, there's 12 groups, a lot of participants in this. So
Yeah,
we'll try to keep it going. And feel free to go to Team Liquid. It has all the information that we're showing there. So super
is that
useful
Herb's
tool.
subtle way of telling me to talk less?
Ah, no, 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 you're fine. I'm just I got a BWCL in 30 minutes, so
Oh, okay, okay, I gotcha. All right, yeah, we'll try and
I already
speed it up a
feel
little bit.
LML being like, where are you at? All right, so we got Best, Eski, Bishop, Art User, and Tyson
Hmm.
that are in this group. We got a couple other players that aren't really noteworthy, unfortunately, but hopefully they'll get a wiki page or Liquipedia page in the future. Um, so
Not
what?
not overly surprising that Best dominates the group,
Yeah.
but good on Art User getting past Bishop. This
Yeah.
this is a big win, right?
Yeah, Bishop versus Art User. Art User, I've been watching a lot of his games. Very standard player for the most part, but the VOD did go over Best and Art User in the finals.
Hmm.
And I was actually really disappointed in it. This is one of the games where I did take notes on. And
Yeah.
game one, our user went for kind of a very unorthodox play style. He went two hatch, two gas, quick lair, spire, and then followed up with a, double hydralisk den for the fast upgrades to like a Hydra follow up. But
Yeah.
Bess was able to just hold with cannons and then snuck out some Dark Templars, and that was pretty
Yeah.
much the game.
I actually wanted to ask you about that real quick. The opening from Art User kind of confused me because he went for 9 pull gas trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then made 6 lings and then just stayed home with it. So what is the point of this? Like what was he hoping to accomplish here? Because this just feels like we're low eco for no reason. Did I lose you?
No, I'm trying to process, like, try to think of what the logic behind that is, because he went for kind of like, he did the gas trick, which is just to get that extra drone out, and then staying home. Like, he could have just stayed home with two Zerglings to block the ramp, then pushed out with the four if there was a Gateway Expo. But maybe he just really wanted to make sure that the probe didn't get into the main because of the playstyle he went with the quick spire and to
Right.
the quick second gas, then third. So maybe it was more of just trying to make sure that Best couldn't get any type of scouting information. But holding the
Yeah.
sixlings back home on a 9 pool, that's kind of weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
really understand it. Maybe it was just kind of art user being put in the hot seat.
Hmm.
So
And I will say that is one thing too, that Best was going for Forge expands, which I've not been able to find a Protoss going Forge expand against Zerg in a while, and I felt like this was a I'm better than you kind of a build, right? Because the Protoss hasn't been doing Forge expand lately. Not that I've been seeing.
um
So it's like a hey, I just won't die to anything weird and I'm gonna beat you later. Like that's what it felt like to me.
yeah, I don't know. I like, if it was snow, I would expect Gateway Expos. Um
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. It could be. I'm still trying to figure out like why people choose what opener they choose. Like a lot of Russians will always do Gateway Expos and just like constantly just sacrificing. Even if a zealot doesn't do anything, they're still sending that next zealot out because they just have so much faith in the wall.
Right.
But I feel like it just comes down to the player and just what they feel comfortable with. But yeah, I could see
Hmm.
Best just being like, "Oh, this is, as long as I just don't die to some bullshit, I'll win." So
Yeah.
maybe that is the logic behind it. But game two of that as well, um, I couldn't tell if you went Gateway Expo or Forge Fast Expand,
It was
but
Forge again.
yeah, Forge again. Well, Art User went for just a standard three hatch Hydra. Huge mass, just huge wave of Hydras. Tried busting down, I think it was like 8 cannons, and
Oh, he went up to. I actually wrote it down. He went up to 13 cannons.
yeah, 13. Okay, yeah, it was insane. And then not only did Art User try pushing into 13 cannons, there was also Storm.
Yeah, Storm was done.
And then on top of that, Best was able to sneak a Dark Templar. So when Art User was
Mhm.
pushing into the Storm Cannon, there was a DT in his main just completely ransacking his mineral line. So it was just like, there couldn't have been a better just squash. It's just like, bro, not only did you like put him in like a confined area, you just fucking cut off every limb. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's just, talk about being outclassed, which it upset me because I watch Art User, I watch a lot of his replays, and he's got a strong macro style versus Protoss, but
Yeah.
maybe it
It
was
looked
the
like he was
hot seat.
panicking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was weird to see him just kind of like just throw everything out the window and be like, I gotta beat him with Hydras. It's like, what?
Yeah. Even even our user's opening was weird again though for game two because he went 9-9 and
Mm-hmm.
then made 8 lings, right?
Yeah.
And Best scouts it early, and I actually really like the way Best responded. He scouted 9-9 and goes 12 Nexus into 15 Forge. So he was like super economical against this 9-9 into 8 lings. So he was just super far ahead from the beginning.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was
And
weird.
that gateway that the DT came from was a hidden gateway on the map as well.
Yes, that's right. I was trying to remember. I'm like, how did that DT slip by? But yeah, it was
Yeah.
a hidden gateway. So yeah, no, it was some good games, and yeah, if once again you can check out all these VODs on ASL. Please do. The more eyes that go to it, the higher potential for future tournaments. So we got to support this. Hey, what's up, AOT? Is this podcast going to be posted on YouTube? Yes, that is the goal right now. Today is the pilot episode, so everything's just kind of
Figuring out what we're doing.
yeah, we're just throwing things up the wall and seeing what sticks. So yep, more informational soon come once we get things more kind of ironed out. I'll help you guys spread it. Hell yeah, appreciate it. All right, so that pretty much summarizes the group 4 best able to secure the advancement, and Art User doing a pretty good run, just not able to secure the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So let's head out to group 5. Ooh, this kind of I don't know who Yerim 2 is.
Looks like he did really well though. He's
Dude,
one of the guys we don't recognize, but yeah.
2O's noob, and I know I've seen that name before, but I don't know if it's like my ladder brain kicking in because there's so many random names. But
I recognize the name too. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure I've heard Artosis talking about him.
yeah. So I feel like he is something, but from his results, I guess he's nothing. We've got Mung versus someone else, 2-0'd, and then was able to 2-1 Yerim. Ooh, Mini. Gosh. Yep, okay, looking at Mini's results, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1. Yeah, Mini's looking good. Yeah, I mean, Mini's always looking good, even in the race wars. He's always a strong contender, and just his style in general is like he's so aggressive, but at the same time he like still follows like the standard build order. So like I don't know how many is able to do it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Anybody on my stream, is my mic audio like doubling when Urban's talking? Because I just saw that it's like my mic is responding when Urban is talking. Is that being picked up? Anybody there that can tell me? No, it's fine. Okay, interesting. I don't know why it's showing like that then. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Seems
No,
like
it's
there's
all
no
good.
problem.
But yeah, Mini just destroying the lineup. I really wish I could see Mini versus Layout, the kind of unknown Zerg player. I just honestly like I don't really like to watch other races. I always just try to like watch Zerg. A little bias over here, but no,
Very nice.
Mini is one of those players though where it's just like it's exciting to watch him because there's just a lot of highlights of I think Jinjin made a video. He was playing against a Terran, and it just got into this like really ragtag like shuttle DT, like no mining going on, and just
Yeah, I talk about Mini quite often. Mini is one of those players that is super fun to watch because you never know what he's gonna do. Um, he like makes up some weird stuff constantly, but he is the worst person to try and copy.
oh yeah,
I would never recommend trying to play like Mini.
no, he's definitely one of those where you just appreciate what he's doing, but you do not
Mhm.
try to mimic his play style because just like trying to mimic Snow with his Reaver play,
Yep.
it's like no, you can't do what he does. So don't even
Yeah.
like try to mimic because you're just gonna lose and be like, how the fuck does he do it? But that's like the beauty to watching them play because you're just like, oh my god, he just took this really difficult situation and just maneuvered it perfectly, and it's like, oh,
He has the weirdest builds, man. His builds are, when it works, it looks like the most like amazing 200 IQ like optimized play you've ever seen before. And then sometimes he does builds and it's like he'll lose the game and you look at it and you're like, man, I don't know what we were thinking this entire time. Like, how was that ever going to work? But there's
Yeah.
clearly something going on in his brain where there was a goal here.
Yeah, like I would say for like a Zerg player that has that kind of same style, it's effort. Like I've seen so many
Yeah.
games of effort where it's like, oh, effort's done. He's dead. There's no way. And then somehow he just like ZVP, he'll kill two bases with just pure cracklings, and then now it's like,
Mhm.
wait, effort is winning. How did he do this? No defiler, just slipped around. Now he's winning the game. Like what? And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
let me try that, and just dead. And then Royal for Terran. Royal's kind of just a hard to copy
Yeah.
player. Okay. Yeah, but Mung, really cool to see Mung play. He's an entertaining streamer, and but also a really strong player. But he was able to get one game off Mini, just not able to secure the two that he needed. So
Hmm.
good to
I
see
didn't
him
know he
play.
was. What
What?
does he do on stream that's entertaining? I've actually I didn't realize he was a big streamer.
He's funny. He's a funny dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like anything specific. It's just he's kind of a goofy dude. Uh,
Gotcha.
and yeah, I enjoy it. He seems like a
I
fun guy
enjoy
to hang out
watching
with.
Minnie for the faces he starts making when he starts losing.
Oh yeah, he's an emotional player.
Oh yeah, when he starts losing, it's like his face starts to melt. Like it feels like it's gonna start like leaking off the like way I don't even know how to explain it, but he's very visual when he is upset for sure.
Yeah, yeah, he's expressive.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, so many taking was it group 5? That kind of expected. Many is definitely one of those players where I would always expect him to make it to the main tournament.
Yeah. Former he won before, right?
I
Did he
think
win
so.
ASL? Yeah, yeah.
I think so. I was trying to find like a list of all the winners and then
I
trying to
want to
compare
say
it
that he
to.
won one.
I wouldn't
I'm
doubt
pretty
it.
sure he won once. Yeah, but I would need to double check. But I'm pretty sure he won.
I mean, we're
That
at.
was about when I started watching ASL. Actually,
Oh, okay.
that's how far behind I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's we're on ASL 19 now, so it's like I've been watching
Hmm.
since it started, but it's like I don't I don't know. I don't know who won it. It's oh hey Flash, yeah he won it. I know that.
Sure.
Soul Keys won it. I know that.
Did Jaedong ever win
No,
an ASL or no?
Jaedong has not done what he needs to do.
That's really sad. I
Yeah.
don't think he'll be able to anymore, right? It doesn't seem like it. I'm really sad that he
Uh,
missed his chances back then.
so I watch him on Home of StarCraft. For those who don't know, it's a YouTube channel. Great content. First person point of views of like just ladder games and stuff of the pros. And when he first came back, oh, it was bad. It was just
Yeah.
it was like this isn't JD, you know. But he's getting back on top, but he's still not at that like that crisp just monster that he once was.
Hmm.
So
Did we lose you?
me?
Yeah. It seemed like you lag out for just a second, but you're good now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to group 6, and
Yeah, we'll talk about Jaedong a little bit more
ooh,
later.
yeah. Okay. Ooh, group 6.
We
Tolbo's
actually had a round of
Huro,
16 this time.
right? You,
Tolbo?
yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Is that Huro?
I don't know.
I think it is from what I remember clicking on his profile. Yeah. Keen saying Tolbo is a Huro, aka YSC. All right, yeah. I hate. Why can't people just stick with one name? I can't stand it. It's so
Wait, is he the
confusing.
guy? He's the guy that should have won on Dominator and lost his Reavers in the shuttle, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's why he changed his name probably. Is
Uh, out of embarrassment. Yeah, it could be. Very well could be. But looking at this, Tolbo making a pretty strong presence. Two O's, no one in the round of 16. And then two
Yeah.
O's, some no namer. But then gets 1-2'd by Barracks.
Hmm.
So I mean, Barracks just a really strong player. So not too surprised.
Maybe that win. I kind of wish we could see it. I would love it if that win was on Dominator, where he successfully did the build this time.
Yeah, I know, right? The redemption.
Yeah.
And then Mihu, uh, Chinese player, does really well in the BSL, but even in this, he,
Isn't it crazy?
yeah, kind
The
of mind
best of the
boggling.
best foreigners cannot even begin to compete even in the qualifiers. It's insane.
Yeah, and Mihu taking 2-0 versus Protoss, but then getting 0-2'd by Barracks. That's yeah, that's the way it goes, I guess.
At least the guy he beat has a Wikipedia page,
Yeah,
or at least he has the race.
yeah, yeah, right. Getting knocked out by a pretty big name. I mean, I always like to look at it when I play in tournaments. Like, if the person who beats me goes to win the tournament, it's kind of like, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, 100%. Whenever that happens, if I lose to someone, I'm like, okay, I need you to win because, especially if I like took games off of them and then they go on to like not lose anymore, it's like, okay, I got second place. I just want you guys to know that.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I got knocked out in the first bracket round, like, I still did more than anyone else, so
Yeah,
I should be up in second.
exactly.
uh,
100%.
now,
I'm always rooting for the guy that beats me.
yeah, always. Oh man, so true. Tobo getting knocked out by Barracks. Tobo getting one game though, Huro, and they have Barracks going into the finals, 2-0ing JYJ. It seems like Barracks' TVT is really freaking strong because if you go back and look
Yeah,
at
that's me.
JYJ's run, he 2-0s and Haya Terran, and
Hmm.
so that's probably a really good finals if you have about 2 hours to watch two TVTs. And Haya not really making too much of a presence. 2-1ing a Zerg that Kasu. I have no idea who that is. So
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, it just seems like Barracks looking strong. Not too strong in TVP, but TVT is definitely a wrecking ball. And
Yeah, looking super strong.
and it sucks to see Mihu get knocked out so early. It's kind of one of those things where like he's even though he's not, like he's Chinese, so he's technically a foreigner, but even in the foreign scene, like we don't really mix too well. But I feel like he
I mean,
represents
it's
us.
tough. It's yeah, yeah. Yeah. Any non-Korean, we all represent each other throughout the
Yeah,
world, right? Like,
it, it's so weird, but yeah, like somehow China's representing the foreign scene.
yeah. Let's take whatever we can get, man.
Yeah, dude, we're desperate over here. DeWalt, where you at?
Yeah, but
Uh,
obviously no shame in losing to Barracks, and that's kind of what's so tough about even these qualifiers, right? Is to get qualified, you have to beat a like really legit ASL player. So there is no easy qualifiers here.
yeah, like you would think like, oh, you pass the qualifiers, like, all right, time to actually play real games. It's like, no, you've been fighting from the start.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't just handed to you.
I mean, think about it. If he were to qualify for ASL, he'd have to beat Hero, Barracks, and JYJ. Like that's what it takes to get started, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
It's like being like a little sea turtle being born, and then you got to fight against like the seagulls and all the other
Yeah.
predators just to get to the water to be able to start your life. Yeah,
Hmm.
you're just battling from the get go. But yeah, so that's Group 6. Barracks taking it pretty decisively throughout, just losing one game versus Tolbo. But on to Group 7. Looks like we got Harang, Cal, Terror. Ooh, Terror played? Nice. Hyun Byul and Zero. Kind of the noteworthy names. It sucks to see Terror get knocked out. Are you familiar with Terror?
I don't actually know Terra at all.
Oh, bro, this dude is like, oh my god, the history of Terror. It is ridiculous, and I'll have to go more in depth out of the cast because, dude, this guy is
Mhm.
hilarious, bro. For instance,
Okay.
so before ASL, there was Spanu. It was like the shoe company who um, they started a uh, StarCraft tournament, and in
Okay.
the ceremony like group selection, he had his wife walk him out on a leash, and he was walking on all fours with a bone
What?
in his mouth, wearing like a fishnet shirt.
Oh, that's awful.
Bro, dude, it was, yeah, the SSL dog walking intro. AOT knows, bro. It was, oh my god, bro. It was.
Wait, what? What?
Oh my,
This is like horrifying. Was
yeah,
this like
dude.
a joke, or is
Oh,
this like an
well,
actual fetish?
but that's like, no, that's like Terror's thing. He is just like, he's wild, bro. So like even before, like when he was a young buck, he was known as like the screaming Zerg because like he would he would win a game and just like fucking he would open up his like sliding like a window and just scream, bro, just like as loud as he could while playing the game. And then he would like throw like flour on his face as he's screaming. It monstrosity, bro. Just complete, just what the fuck are we watching right now type guy. I have to show you the videos after, bro. It's hilarious
Yeah.
on who this guy is.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to see some of that then. That sounds wild.
Completely, but he got 2-0, so that was his run. Yeah,
Yeah, that was it.
and Harang too. What, that name seems familiar, but I can't think of anything. Like, is that his main name, or does he have an AKA? I feel like I've seen the name before.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling the same way you are. I've definitely heard this name many times before, but I'm drawing a blank on exactly who he is.
Yeah, I can't draw anything specific to his play style or whatnot. I just know that I've seen the name, and like it's like if we were to match up on ladder, I'd be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of information here. So Hyun, do you know who Hyun is?
Hyun, yeah.
Okay. He's another guy that I know from StarCraft too.
Okay.
So I was a Zerg player in StarCraft 2. He came up with a ZVT style that I actually really enjoyed playing and I adopted.
Okay.
Um, it was like a very fun, like fight heavy style. And then Buell, I don't know a whole lot about Buell, but I know that I played against him in that fastest tournament. Um,
Oh.
yeah, he showed up because it was $15 a win. So he showed up. He got like I don't know, like 18 wins in a row. Nobody could beat him, but I was the closest to beating him. I just want you guys to know. I was the
Yeah.
only one that actually broke his front and almost killed him, but I screwed up on my macro. But I just want you guys to know that I could have beat Buell, okay, on fastest.
In a fastest, yeah. Congratulations. Almost.
Thank you, thank you for congratulating me for almost winning.
Yeah. And it looks like Zero not dropping a game until the very end, 2-0ing both Terrans. He was able to beat Buell.
Yeah, it's really nice to see a Polish Zerg just dominate the qualifiers
Oh
here.
god. Yeah, ignore the Korean flag. It's the BSL organizer Zero that we all love. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the one who's
100%.
participating in the ASL. Oh boy. And but yeah, no, Zero
Yeah.
just really, I mean, like it's one of those things where it's like, how is Zero in the qualifiers? You know, like
Right,
dude's
right.
so good, yet here he is. But I mean, showing his strength, 2-0ing everyone besides Harang, which I mean, that kind of Harang able to take a game. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I'll need to look up. I'm gonna make a note. I need to remind myself who this guy is.
Zero or Harang?
Harang.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's I mean, you don't have to look too much because he didn't advance. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, out of this, Terror's definitely a shock factor. Happy to see him still like trying to be relevant in the professional scene. Really funny. He's more of an entertainer streamer, but
Mm.
still cool to see him. And then Zero just fucking wrecking house, doing what he
Yeah.
needs to do, making it look good, making it look easy. And it's cool to see Buell uh, taking out Hyun. Hyun, I can't really think. I don't know if he's a macro player or an aggressive player. I know he's up there on the ladder if you go on Seawall,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I actually have not seen any of his Brood War play yet.
yeah. So the one StarCraft 2 player that I'm really excited to see. I don't think he signed up for this one, but he's been uh, really strong on ladder. Is Truth or True?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a player that I can't wait. Like when he finally feels confident to actually participate, I feel like he's gonna put up some results.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to Hearthstone in the ASL.
Let's see him in BSL first, all right?
Let's see him in B rank first.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those stepping stones.
Yeah.
Hyuna's a mutabot like Killer. Yeah, Killer is another one where it's like I'd love to see him do something, but yeah, they just I feel like they're just stuck. Like they never really break open into like those crazy macro games. It just seems like either they win because of the mutas or they just fall off. So it's just one of those unfortunate things. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Zero winning this group section and advancing. So really cool to see. Always a big fan of Zero. And let's go check out Group 8.
All right. Ugh. Um, what do we got? We got Sax3, Shuttle, Roller are the big names that I recognize.
Yeah.
I don't know Promise or Yoon really.
Yoon, I've seen games of nothing too specific that stands out. I don't. He's not too much of like he doesn't stand out like Shine, but he also doesn't stand out like Sulky. So just kind of like I would say more of like the amateur range, not like that
Mm-hmm.
top tier pro. Like I'd say like Yoon would be kind of like on a scan level, like
Yeah.
definitely a good player, but not not top tier yet. But it doesn't really matter because he was able to 2-0 Promise, but then Shuttle comes in. Previous ASL winner. I got that. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he won like one of the very first ASLs. So he
He
didn't.
hasn't he
What?
hasn't performed lately though, right?
No, he see that's like one of the things though. This is like pre J Dong Flash coming back and like people weren't
Oh, okay, okay.
taking like Brood War tournaments. Like I mean, obviously there was money to be made, but it
So
wasn't.
he won when nobody cared.
Yeah, it's kind of like he still got the W, but
Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
does it count? Does it really count?
Yeah. I mean, looking at this group, it went pretty much exactly as I would have expected it to go.
Yeah, Saxry, solid player. He definitely follows more with the macro-oriented Zerg styles, but
Hmm.
one of the games they did cast of Saxry versus Royal, he went for as opposed to going for like the macro, like third hatch macro play style, he went for the third hatch being a third base, and Roy was able to scout it out and force Saxry to build like three Sunkens at his natural in third, which delayed his muta timing, and then just his mutas
Yeah,
finally
that's
came
painful.
out, wasn't able to do anything, which always comes back to why do Zergs try to go for that fast third? It just doesn't pay off. Like
Yeah.
the investment to hold it and then your timings go out the window. I don't see the point of it. Like I get it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's funny because Hawk has been talking about it some, right? And I was watching Hawk trying to play with this style where he just takes this early third instead of an in base third.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he basically every game ends up like just sacking it and trying to get counter damage. And I'm like, man, this cannot feel good.
No,
Like it's pretty much undefendable. Yeah.
yeah, it's not worth it. Like I feel like it's just better to have the macro third hatch and then go for the third base with the fourth hatch because then you don't lose the
Hmm.
larva and everything's more streamlined as opposed to just like, oh well, they went 2 rack stim timing, you're fucked. Like what's the point of getting gas? You need to invest in sunkens.
Right. Yeah. What's up, exit?
Hey, exit. So Saxery getting knocked out by Royal. Royal going 2 over TBT, 2-1 versus Saxery, and then 2-0 Shuttle. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Smashed him.
yeah, Royal looking strong TVP, and it's crazy because it's like, isn't Protoss supposed to be Terran? Guess not.
It's a little bit of a Terran propaganda, to be honest with you.
Oh, Terran propaganda.
As someone that's you know played at least A rank, I wouldn't say high level, but an okay level, an acceptable level of both races. Even though my TVP is trash, I genuinely feel that a strong Terran that's performing well is going to beat Protoss most of the time. I actually feel like it's Terran favorite. It's just harder to play as Terran.
I just feel like if Terran is able to weather the storm of
Mm-hmm.
the Protoss shenanigans, but that's
Yeah,
Terran in any matchup basically. Once they can get their infrastructure down and not take too much damage in the process, they
yeah.
usually win. So it just seems like Shuttle wasn't able to get any exploits off and was just rolled twice. So
Yeah,
it is what it is, I
blast
guess.
him.
Yeah, get blasted.
Get blasted, shuttle.
I mean, you should just rename Royal to Turret.
True.
Well, all right. So Royal was able to advance, looking pretty good.
Well, I
What?
will say turrets killing units is a myth.
Dude. Turrets versus Arbiter. You would think that turrets would win.
You
they,
would think, man.
they don't.
All turrets are there for against arbiters to kill the arbiter after the recall goes off.
Yeah, yeah.
It's it's actually sad. Hog said something a while back, and I still don't know if he was baiting a rage response or if he was being serious. But he was like, "Terrans like to say how bad turrets are, but they build so many of them, dude. We build so many because we need like 15 to kill a unit, man."
Yeah. And it still doesn't even prevent the unit from, doing its thing. Recall. It's like,
Yeah.
nope, recall still goes off. Like, all right, well, that sucks.
Right. There was my inner Terran coming out just a little bit there.
We'll keep stoking that flame. All right. So group 9. Ooh, okay. So we got speed, piano, motive, and hero. Whoa! Wait, was this a didn't Hero get knocked out by this Terran player last season?
I wouldn't know.
So
Who is this Terran? BCM.
BCM, yeah. So are we looking at the right one? We have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. Oh my god, was it a redo? That was Queen to. Okay, so it was someone else. Sorry. So yeah, no, this Terran player BCM. Apparently, it was Queen who lost to him, and it was like a big upset. And it seems
Okay.
like he's back at it again, knocking out Hero, which is crazy.
Which allowed this other Zerg to play against Speed in the finals. Man, I'd kind of like to see those games then because I'm really curious about how that happens.
Yeah, man, really interesting.
Like how are we beating a hero and then losing 2-0 to this random guy?
Yeah, Isong
Unless this is
Men.
somebody good that I
Yeah, I have no idea who Isong Men is, but apparently strong, but not strong enough.
yeah, stronger than hero
But
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, it was funny. 2 seasons ago, Queen lost to BCM, and Jin Jin made a video on it on how all the pros were just shitting on,
Queen.
yeah, Queen. Like, how'd you lose to this guy? Like, he's like some like DoorDash dude who just happens to beat pros, and yeah, here he is beating Hero, and it sucks to see because Hero was really strong, but it just seems like he's been kind of like fizzling out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got kids or a new wife or something, but yeah, he's just not. He's not what he once was, which is sad to see because he's a really strong player, ZVP, but ZVT just seems to be his kryptonite.
Yeah.
And
Speed only dropping a game to My Way 59.
yeah, whoever my way is did well, but not well enough.
Yeah, it is cool to see Speed qualify. I mean, as a lot of you guys know, Speed been topping the ladder for a while. Just kind of speed runs ladder points. If you ever watch him stream, he's just always doing something hyper aggressive and just killing people as fast as possible.
Isn't his alt like 10-minute flash?
Oh, is it? That's hilarious. If
Yeah,
so,
I think that's him, but I could be wrong.
yeah, we did get him to play with a bunch of us a while back.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
a month or
remember
so
that.
ago.
I remember that. And no one
Yeah, we
took a
gave him
game.
we were playing him. We were getting him. I think it was $10 a win. And he was gonna play against us for like an hour and a half, something like that. And he 15-0'd everybody
Oh my
in that amount
god.
of time. So made a lot of money speed running some cash.
Yeah. Payday.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, speed 2-0ing piano. That's pretty crazy. And then I mean piano was able to 2-0 motive. Motive not too crazy of the like top tier player, but still a noteworthy
still
contender.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, speed just kind of running with it. Not too many names. I mean, the biggest upset I would say is BCM beating Hero.
yeah, for sure.
He's probably upset. I feel like Jinjin's in the work of making another pro reaction video to that. But it's for Group 9. Not too much to say outside of Speed is advancing with some pretty
Yeah,
strong results.
yeah, pretty dominant for speed. I think that's pretty expected,
Yeah.
especially with Hero being knocked out. There wasn't really a whole lot of competition left for speed. I felt like so.
Yeah, I feel like if Hero made it to the finals, it could have been a little bit more interesting. But I mean, he can't even
Mhm.
beat a Door Dasher. So back to the drawing board, Hero.
Yeah,
All right. Ooh, Group 10. All right. I like what I see. We got Zealot, Pusan, Ride Sky, Saber. I don't know Backhoe. Name seems kind of familiar. And Jadong and Blade. Jadong, just looking at his results 2-0, 2-0, and then 2-0 in the
hmm
finals. Oh, dang. Okay. All that talk about Jadong not doing well. This is some pretty good results here.
yeah, definitely dominating these qualifiers. I like this name by the way. It looks like this dude just literally smashed his face against his keyboard.
Barcode. What?
Um, I will say one thing about, I mean, Rides Guy took out Saber and Zealot, right? So he had some pretty good TVZ wins going into the games with Jadong. Uh, but Rides Guy did lose to range. So how good is he really?
Oh, no. Uh, oh,
I know
who are we talking about again?
Rides Guy
Oh yeah, 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 Red
lost.
Sky.
Yeah, range took a game off Rides Guy on the ladder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he 2-1 Saber. Saber is not the greatest player. He's definitely more in like the amateur range. I mean,
Right.
when we say amateur, we're not trying to like this is in comparison to like the top end players, creme de la creme. Like so when we
Yeah,
say
yeah.
amateur, it's people who would be able to just completely obliterate anyone watching this, but still like not at that top level. And so, but still, Ride Sky able to 2-1 Saber. That's pretty big. And then versus Zealot, able to get 2-1. So those would be really interesting games because Zealot kind of falls into the category of Shine, where just very
Yeah, very
aggressive
cheesy.
play. So I'm
Mhm.
really curious on how Ride Sky was able to hold against that. But then
Yeah,
going
I'd be interested
against
to see.
what?
I was just agreeing it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, and then Jaedong just he's like, "Right, Sky, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You're gonna get annihilated with the 2-0."
What? Yeah, I wonder. Ride Sky might have been primed a little bit going into this matchup because, like, in a bad way because he probably played against a whole lot of cheese, and then Jaedong, a very standard player from what I've seen. So
Yeah, like Ride Sky is like just like building those extra turrets and stuff, being like,
yeah,
"Oh, something cheesy's coming my way," and Jaedong being like, "What? No."
he probably just had 6 games where he was fighting for his life, and then
Yeah.
had like super chill macro games after. Yeah, complete change of pace.
So super stoked to see Jaedong get that 2-0. Happy to see Jaedong make it to the past the qualifiers. Always a big fanboy. I feel like any Zerg's going to be a fanboy of the Tyrant. So
Oh yeah, yeah. He won me over in StarCraft too. I became a huge fan. I've always wanted to see him win something.
oh yeah, he's just just that guy that everyone likes
He's
until
very
you
likable.
yeah until you lose to him.
He had a day where he played on the NA server in StarCraft 2, where he went 52-0,
Oh my
and
god.
it was so funny. He played against this one guy who was on like his like 45th game or something, and he played against some Terran, and he scouted the Terran. I don't even know what he saw that tipped him off, but he scouted the Terran and he said hacker question mark, and the guy just said sorry and quit the game. So Jaedong
Ah.
literally beat him by guilting him.
Ah. Oh, J-Dog, you're such a god. All right, and I'm gonna try to speed this up. Maybe we'll just do qualifiers 1, and then we'll come back like tomorrow or something to do qual 2.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Yeah, because LML just hit me up. I got my BWCL matches to play, so we were able
yeah,
to get a good amount done. So let's go into Group 11 and check to see what's happening over here. Ooh, this is very Zerg heavy.
yeah, extremely.
Yeah, we got action. I don't know,
Man,
ruin or
Sue almost made
honey.
it.
Oh yeah, Sue 2-0 killer.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And then he 2-1 Calm. Calm's a pretty strong player. I see him like out of all the pro slash amateurs, I see Calm make mistakes. So he's not
Mhm.
really that ironed out. So it's so if Sue's able to capitalize on those types of mistakes, it's cool to see this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't maybe Sue's ZVZ is solid. I don't really know how he does any other matchups, but definitely, I mean, he said beating Killer calm, taking a game off action. Like he got very close to qualifying here.
Yeah, like really good run. And I don't know, maybe players are allowed to like double dip. So if they get knocked out in qual 1, maybe they can go back in qual 2.
A lot of them can, yeah. I
Okay.
don't know the rules on it. Again, this is something I'm gonna have to do some research on, but I know sometimes quite often I'll see people fail day one and then try again in day two.
Yeah. So we'll just have to do a little bit more research to figure out what's what. But yeah, Sue doing a pretty good run. And we were talking about him earlier for the people who are just not tuning in. Sue's a StarCraft 2 player. Got some good results. Basically had the title of Yellow as the second place champion. Everything he'd play in, he'd get second place. So him coming back to Brood War and doing some pretty good results. Look forward to seeing if he continues with it.
Yeah.
And action taking Group 11, and for the last group of qualifier 1, we have Light, MC, SC2 Pro, Ivory. He made a name for himself not too long ago. He was able to get past the qualifiers and into the main event, but then didn't last long in there. He's really known for his really good micro play. Jean Hoon. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Jean
Yeah.
something like that.
Zhan Hoon, a Chinese player, got O2'd by Sack, and
Well,
he's
to be fair, Stack didn't lose to anybody.
oh my god, yeah, looking at this, Sack going 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, Oh, and
This is an upset, right? Like getting 2-0'd by Sack.
yeah, that's Light's. He's been like prophesized to like win ASLs. Like if
He
like
was
the
supposed to be the next Flash, right?
yeah
Well, turns out it's Sack.
yeah apparently
Sock?
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But let's go back to MC 2-1ing Ivory, but then getting 2-0'd by Light. I wonder how he feels about that. MC, I heard
Sure, he
that he
feels
was making a
great.
comeback. Yeah, right. um,
MC
MC,
is he's such a character, man.
yeah,
He's so fun to watch.
yeah. What's his nickname? The Boss from
The
SE2.
boss toss.
Yeah, Boss Toss. That's it. He wasn't really
Yeah.
boss in here, but
He did dip into some League of Legends after StarCraft too, but that didn't
uh,
last very long.
yeah, boo.
That's
Oh,
why he sucks at Blue One.
Xenon
Waste of
saying
talent.
MC's got a family, so maybe he's not training that hard. It's a probability. That's definitely something to take into consideration.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He so I know he won a lot of prize money in StarCraft 2, and I remember it was something like 500,000 or something like that, and they asked him like what he was gonna do with those winnings, and he had bought his mother a house. That's
Oh,
what he did with his winnings.
oh,
So
what a nice guy.
good guy MC taking care of his mother.
Well, apparently, Xenon was talking about Light. Light's got a family, so maybe that's what
Oh, okay,
caused
okay,
him
okay.
to drop the O2 versus Sock in the finals.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's a possibility, and I've noticed with
It could be, yeah.
a lot of these TVETs, they've banned just two O's.
Hmm.
There hasn't really been much of a like 2-1, so it's really
That's true.
interesting to see how that plays out.
It's actually a good point. Like we have, I guess, TY in mind. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of TVTs, I guess, in general, but yeah, it seems if someone's good at TVT, they're just gonna dominate.
Yeah, and maybe after getting that first win after an hour-long game, it's like you have like that psychological like leverage, you know.
Yeah.
But all right, so that pretty much summarizes it. We'll look at who qualified. So for Protoss, we got Best, Bisu, Mini. Terran, we have Barracks, Mine, Royal, Rush, Speed, Sack, and then Zerg, we have Action Jadong Zero. And we will pick up on the online qualifiers day 2, possibly tomorrow. We This was just a pilot run of the GG Timing podcast. Name is still to be determined. So if anyone's got any ideas, feel free to throw it our way. Hopefully everyone enjoyed what we're doing here. The goal is to just try to keep everyone in the loop on what's happening in the StarCraft world, and we plan on doing like other tournaments too, like BSL, and just kind of recaps of everything that is StarCraft. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks for the raids, and we'll try to be getting a YouTube channel going. I know Ozzy to Hockey has a YouTube channel where he's going to be posting
Hmm.
the stuff. Maca Rax, love this podcast. Please keep doing it. Thank you. That honestly, the that's really helpful. Feedback like this or like that's going to help motivate us because, like I
It's
said,
motivation, yeah.
yeah, this is all just a pilot episode. Hopefully, we can get a little bit more comfortable and for the next
Yeah, we'll
season.
clean it up. Clean it up
Yeah.
more and more as we go.
Exactly. But do you have anything? Any parting words?
No, pretty much just more of the same. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm gonna edit this down a little bit. I'll probably take the video from Urban's stream since he actually put stuff together better than I did. So I will get it kind of cleaned up and posted. And yeah, we'll try and keep doing this. And as we go further on in the tournaments, we'll probably get more specific about our breakdowns. But yeah, right now for the qualifiers, there's just so many games that we're just kind of skimming over it for now. Like I
Yeah.
said, just to keep you guys updated.
And with the VODs, they don't like follow people. They'll join in a series where it's like 1-1 or something. So like we could do breakdowns. We did a few throughout this cast, but for the most part, this is what we're trying to bring. So if you have any feedback, please let us know. We'll once we start posting things on YouTube, we'll throw it up on Reddit and other forums, Team Liquid, etc. So give us any feedback if you have any, and hopefully we'll see you for the review of Online Qualifiers Day 2, which hopefully we can get done
Like tomorrow,
soon.
the next day. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for the support, everyone. Thank you, Ozzy, for helping me out with this. I thought this was fun. I really enjoyed it. I felt like this was pretty engaging.
Yeah, I like it. At first I wasn't sure if we'd have enough to say, but it turns out we had too much to say.
No, just blame LML. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Love you guys. Long live Brood War.
True. Thanks, guys. See you later.
All right. Bye.